Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to another episode 19, guys. Episode 19 of Chicken and Rice. I hope you guys have enjoyed things so far. As you can see tonight, we have a very special guest here who's going to talk to us about something very, very important that's affecting our Black families.
Mm-hmm.
Although there is a strong belief that this is not affecting our Black families, it is in fact is.
Yeah.
So, as always, I am your boy, Brother Sean, my very beautiful cousin, my little sister right here is Sujuane, and our very special guest today, making her first appearance on any platform, Miss Ashley Ross. Miss
Woo!
Ashley Ross, say something to the people, say something to the family.
Hey,
All right. Miss Ross, thank you for joining us today. We know that you have a story that you want to bring to us, and we are happy to be the platform to help you do that. So talk to us and let us know what's on your heart, and just give us the real deal. Tell us your story.
okay. Well, first I want to say thank you. Thank you for inviting me, having me. My name is Ashley Ross. I go by Branded on Facebook. I've created a line, an inspirational line called Branded Moms. Mom stands for Moms Out Loud Manifesting Success. I also sell hair, Love and Light Luxury Collection. So all of the name Branded Mom and Love and Light, it's all really about me, things that I've gone through and just the journey. On this journey, I've ran into some traumatizing things. My son, EJ, he experimented with opioids, with Percocet, and he had an overdose, and it was fentanyl. And so he almost died. They actually told me to prepare to say goodbye to him. And so I just want to talk about that a little bit because it's very real and it's in our, I never knew anything about it. Let me first say that I wasn't very familiar with it until it happened to my son. And so I always heard it was kind of like a white thing.
Right.
That's all you really hear about. But it's really not. A lot of Black kids and young adults have lost their lives just the same.
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of funny how you say that it's you thought it was just a white thing, because the thing is that it's been affecting the Black community, Black and brown communities for a very long time, but it only became an issue when it started to get into the inner cities and and the suburbs. And then when white people started, overdosing and dying from it, now it's an epidemic, which is really, really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And, I just want to get my story out here about my son, because I know I'm not the only one. And I know some people probably don't feel comfortable talking about it, but I'm comfortable talking about it. I want to talk about it because I think people need to know about it and be aware. These kids are out here trying these drugs and thinking that, hey, it's in songs and you being around it, maybe the environment. It's very, very, very dangerous and deadly.
Yeah.
It's dangerous and deadly. Ugly drug.
So talk to us about your son EJ. Tell us something about him.
Okay, well, so EJ was a regular kid. He played sports. He was always very helpful, loved his siblings, very loving, very caring, went to school. I mean, your regular kid,
Right.
We relocated. And when we relocated, I think he was like maybe 13 years old, and his dad went to prison. So he was close with his dad. And when that relationship was taken away, I started to see some changes in him, but nothing with drugs, just more more so as like emotions, sadness, trying to find his crowd, so to say, you know.
Depression, maybe? Do you think he was
Absolutely.
depressed?
Absolutely. You know, and I would talk to him, but of course, no, I'm good, Mom, I'm good.
Yeah.
But you see it. But it wasn't anything to where I was worried. We talk about everything. So I didn't feel like I had anything to really worry about. So fast forward a couple of years, you know, we relocated. He started high school and he was going to school. He was cutting grass. He's always been about making money. So he used to not cut hair. He used to sweep up the hair in the barbershops. And he was a little boy.
Yeah.
Anything he could do to make money, he would do it. So I saw a couple of years later, maybe about 2, he started hanging with different crowds and getting older and, you know, didn't want to listen. And so when you don't listen, you got to figure out what you're going to do because you don't want to. So, you know, he decided to leave. I would still see my son. We still had a good relationship, but he wasn't in my house anymore. He was out there, you know. And so just to fast forward, April 2020, I had received my daughter received a phone call, and it basically was a very good friend of his saying that he saw a video where EJ was in the back seat, slumped over, out of it. And he said it worried him because it didn't look normal. It looked like.
Yeah.
So my daughter woke me up around 2:30 in the morning, and she showed me the video. As soon as I saw it, I knew something was wrong. I knew, you know, it was something. It was bigger than, you know, what I thought. So I left out and I went to the places that I knew he would be. I went looking for my baby and I couldn't find him. And so I went home and I just prayed and, you know, I just was waiting for him to call me. I write poetry. So in that moment, I wrote him a poem because I just felt it in my spirit. And let me say this, I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual. I'm very, very spiritual. And I feel
that mama's intuition. That's that mama's intuition. Yeah, that stuff is real, man.
It really is.
Yeah.
And to make a long story short, I had a phone call the next day at about 11, maybe 11:30 in the afternoon. They said, hey, EJ, he's still asleep. He never woke up. And so I found out that his friends thought that he was just high. They left him in the car for quite a while. They left him in the car that whole morning. And they called me close to noon. And he was still in the back seat in the same way that I saw him at 2:00 that morning. He hadn't moved. His mouth hadn't moved. He was in the same spot. So I told them to just bring him home. And I called EMS. I told them to bring him and I called him so they could meet at the same time, hopefully. So when they brought my son to me, I pulled him out the car. Now, mind you, I was about 5 months pregnant. So I pulled EJ out and I laid him down and he was unresponsive. I mean, it was like he was barely breathing. I mean, it looked could have, you know, had passed, honestly.
Yeah.
It was just bad. It was a bad situation. Ambulance came. We went to the hospital and I was there for hours. That's all I remember. I was there for a very long time and he was still not responsive. I'm thinking, you know, he's going to wake up. You know, he's going to tell me, you know, whatever. And it didn't happen. So the hospital that we were at, they said, he needs to be moved to a different hospital because they need different tests. They need to do different things. So they moved him to a different hospital. I met him there And I just waited. And I waited. The doctor came and told me that it was a fentanyl overdose. Was I aware? And I was like, I don't know. And he said, well, it doesn't look good. And I said, I'm just listening.
Yeah.
So I went back out. They had me go back out. And when they finally had me come back in, he was just like, we've done pretty much all that we can do. He's still in the same, situation. And there's no brain activity.
Yeah.
Now, when they said that, my heart dropped into my stomach, because up until then, I'm like, I know this is bad, but I'm feeling like, we'll get through. He'll wake up and go home and we'll, get it together. Well, doctor was like, he has no brain activity. What do you say to that?
Right.
And so that was very traumatizing.
Yeah.
But that I had to be strong, because I couldn't. I'm a very strong person, period. I've dealt with trauma. I've dealt with, just like anybody else, I've dealt with struggle, trauma, and I just
you were pregnant too during all of this.
I didn't eat for a week.
Oh my God.
Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't. But so for 3 days I was at the hospital just sitting with him. And on the third night, the doctor said, I have to tell you this, but nothing's changing, nothing's progressing. And I think he said they were going to take, I don't know the word, they had something in his throat and they were going to take it out. It was helping him.
Oh, the breathing tube.
Right.
Yeah.
They said, we're going to take this out. He may not breathe on his own. And at that, what would you like for us to do? Because it's dangerous even putting it in. So that whole situation. And I told him, well, if you don't put it in, what's going to happen? I mean, if you don't put it in and he can't breathe, he's going to die, right? He said, yes. I said, put it in.
Right. That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Put it back in.
Yeah.
And I went home that night, and I've never in my life begged God. I've cried to God. I've asked, I begged God all night to please let my baby live. I don't care how he is living. I don't care if he's different or whatever, but please don't take him from me.
Yeah.
And at the time he was only 17, And so the next day I went to the hospital. They had a prayer garden, and I would go there and I would pray. And so I did that first. And then I went upstairs. I'll never forget. I put a picture of my mom. I put this picture of my mom on his lap. And I was just praying. I was just quiet and I was just praying, because I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting ready to say bye to my baby or what.
Right.
But, so, trying to just find this peace. And also the doctor said, if he does wake up, which I seriously doubt. I mean, the doctor wasn't great at all. I guess he probably was at a place where he sees this all the time.
Right.
That. So he was like, if he does wake up, Miss Ross, he will not know who you are. He will not be the same.
Yeah.
All of that. So praying, my eyes are closed, and all I hear is, Mama, I'm thirsty.
Oh.
Mama, I'm thirsty.
Wow.
And going in and out of sleep though. So it's like he had, but then he went back. And he woke up, and, so I knew that though right there. I said, he's not gonna die. I said, he's not gonna die. Doctors, I need the nurse, I need everybody to come in here. Because he knows who I am. Y'all said he wouldn't know who I was.
And he woke up.
He woke up and he said, Mom.
Right.
So, that happened. And It was a long walk, and it still is a walk.
Right.
From that day, we were moved to another hospital, and so let me say this too. Those drugs will mess you up.
Yeah.
My son had to learn how to use the restroom again by himself. My son had to learn to walk again. My son had to learn how to pretty much talk again because it changed speech. We did physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. We did all of that.
Right.
And still does physical therapy because now, he's a fall risk. And it's been 2 years. He's 19. He'll be 20 in August. Due to the lack of oxygen going to his brain for so many hours.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they can't tell you that it's going to turn itself around. We can just hope for the best and do physical so he can, do the best that he can. But I mean, it's a lot of things that have changed. He was very independent, and it changed that. Now you're dealing with a teenager who's used to doing what he wants to do, how he wants to do it, and basically taking care of himself, to being confined to a bed, to your mama having it, to your sister help you. And it was hard for him to digest, which I understand. So I saw anger, I saw pain, I saw depression.
Yeah.
He went through it all, and I did too, because who wants to see their child go through that? And you feel so go to the what could I have done? What did I do?
Yeah.
So
quick question.
Yeah.
Throughout all of this, where were his friends? Because that's something I feel is important for our youth to understand. Were his friends there by his side? Did they jump ship? Where were his friends in throughout all of this?
Right. So, it was COVID. So really nobody came to the hospital for me. His friends called every day.
Oh, that's good.
When they were able to come, and we would switch because I was there all day. They would actually come. They would come and sit with him, come and let him, because they music, so they'll come and play their music. I can honestly say they felt very bad. Very bad.
Yeah.
And I won't lie. In the beginning, I was very angry.
Yeah.
I was very angry until my son woke up. Once he woke up, and this is the thing about me, I don't like bad blood. I don't like to stay I don't like being in a bad space. I just don't, it doesn't help me.
Right.
So I think knowing that my son was alive, all that anger kind of went away. I won't lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got to work on. It don't, your days, you're in and out, but I wasn't upset. I was disappointed that they would leave him like that.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed that they didn't call me. I mean, it doesn't matter. Call me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't leave him. They said they thought he was just high. I guess clearly he'd done it before. Maybe he looked at that before. And so they thought they said, we thought he was gonna wake up and come in the house like he always does. So when everybody start waking up and realizing, hey, where's EJ? EJ was so they definitely showed up, and and they're still, they still check on him. They still check on him. We moved from where we were. We came back home to Austin because he had Yale Children's Medical Center for his therapy. So we moved back here, and we've been here ever since. Now, after all of that, what we're dealing with is his emotion of where he's at in life.
Right.
The depression, the sadness, this. And so he actually started abusing the same pills that put him in that situation.
But this time they were actually prescribed to him, though.
Well, no, they weren't prescribed. He was finding them. He just didn't hold up.
Oh.
Yeah. So
wow.
it's Russian roulette again.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I understand. I understand where he was at. I understand those emotions, and that's probably the only thing that made him feel okay or take him away from those.
Right.
And I don't agree with it, but and so instead of being angry or mean towards him, I try to show compassion, but also be firm.
Yeah.
And so during this walk, it's been a lot. Like, it's been a roller coaster. I had to remove him from my home because it's like, I can't, if you're not going to help yourself and try, I'm there with you. Whatever we got to do, I'm there. But you want to do it. And so he went to another family member's home, and that's where he was at. And he called me and he said, "Mom, I'm ready to go to rehab."
Oh, well, good.
Let's go. I'm here, but you have to do the work. I cannot do it for you.
You can't want him for him. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And so he went to rehab. He came back home. He went to rehab. He did very good. And we're still pushing. I'm not going to say everything is back to normal. He's not on any pills, but it's still a struggle. It's a struggle. And I just want to get it out there to parents and to kids, young adults, that drug is not nobody's friend. It can change your whole life.
Yeah.
It can take your life.
Yeah. They had a fentanyl documentary, I think, because remember, especially after Prince had died from a fentanyl overdose, and they were showing just how little, like how small that you can ingest and it can take your life. Just what's a small amount, like it's just like literally just molecules that can take you out of here, and people, like you said, it's Russian roulette because they were talking about when a lot of these people are these drug dealers and stuff are making this stuff, they kind of get the fentanyl and they just kind of just throw it into one thing and cut it with stuff and mix it up. So it's not accurately measured, so you don't know how much fentanyl you're getting per pill. One pill you might get a small amount, one pill you might get a lethal dose. So it's like you said, you're getting them off the street, you have no idea what you're getting, And one thing I would like for you to do is to walk, especially for the youth that might be watching this, and are out there playing Russian roulette. Walk us through a day after he woke up and he came home from the hospital. What was his life like? What was like a normal day like for him after he came home from the hospital?
Okay. So when he came home, first of all, he came home with a wheelchair. He couldn't, because now remember, physical therapy. So he had to learn thing again. He couldn't walk. And he's very strong-minded. I will say he has a strong spirit. And so he would try, he pushed himself, he pushed himself to try to walk, but he will fall all the time. I mean, he it's not funny. I'm laughing, but because me and him laugh about it now, but it's like he would, break TVs. He would, fall into things sometimes. He was not able to go with his friends like he used to.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Right.
And he wasn't himself anymore. And it's like, it was still him on the inside, but his body. So you're dealing, knowing who you are, knowing what you're doing, but will not listen. Your body is doing what it wants to do.
Yeah.
It was very sad. A lot of times he was just in his room. He would just sit in the room. listen to music. And I knew he was hurt.
Yeah.
It's nothing I can do except for pour into him, pray for him, encourage, strong for him. But I mean, really, it was very limited. His friends would come to see him, and so he's just there, at home. This is something also the physical therapy, just because you do physical therapy doesn't mean that you're going to get well instantly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was a shower. He had to be careful taking a shower. He had a shower chair.
Did you have to assist him with the shower, or could he do it himself?
I had to assist him, but like I say, he's so strong. That didn't last long. Everything he needed to learn how to do, he learned how to do before we moved back to Austin and started at children. So I mean, he is very strong. He was very strong. Times I was so scared. I would say, EJ, let me help you. Let me help you. And he say, no, Mama, I got it. You got to let me. I got to do it. And he would do it. He would do it, but it's not worth it.
No,
it's not worth it. He didn't finish. There's tests on his brain where, school is kind of limited at this point because there's different they take to see how much can he actually retain.
Wow.
He sees a neurologist. Like it changes everything.
Yeah.
It changes everything. And you got to just go with the flow.
And he's one of the ones that survived. So many don't.
The week that happened to my son, 5 white kids, it was all over the news, from Georgetown, died. The same week that my son was fighting for his life, 5 white kids died in Georgetown from the same thing.
Yeah. So they don't broadcast our stories like they do the other ones. Yeah.
Right.
So we're so thankful for you sharing your story on here because, like you said, people are so afraid to talk about it, and it's so taboo. In our community too, we like to keep everything hush and quiet, and and all of that stuff. So it's. I mean, and you talking about he was very strong with him. Like he obviously got that from you.
Yeah.
He got that from his mama.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also, what I wanted to bring out is I wanted all the fans to understand that, this kid here that we're talking about here, this kid wasn't no, mean, rough. This is not a gangster we talking about here.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
We're talking about a good kid. You heard what Ashley said. Sweeping up the hair in a barbershop.
Yeah.
I don't even want to touch my hair after it's been cut. Okay.
Especially at a young age too.
At the age he started, most kids running away from work. And this kid is running to work.
Yeah.
Okay. But the path to addiction isn't just this big event. Okay. It starts small. Okay.
Yeah.
Experimenting and being sneaky and doing things of that nature. And before you know, you're caught up. Okay. And I just want people to understand that EJ's story could very well be our story. And it can still be our story if we're not careful in getting help with how to deal with our issues, especially with major life changes. Okay. The passing of a parent, a spouse, divorce, breakups, having to move to another town. Okay. Abandonment on all, abandonment across the board. Okay. Incarceration. All of this stuff causes mental illness, mental issues. Okay. And if they go unchecked, you too can become an addict.
Mm-hmm.
You can become an alcoholic. Okay?
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol is just not the answer. And I'm just going to always tell people, because I've been going through a rough time. We talked about that already. I'm not going to rehash that again. You'll have to see a couple of episodes for that. We fleshed all of that out. So I'm not going through that part again. But what I would like for everyone to know is, please, especially Black people, please find a therapist. Okay? Please find a licensed therapist. Okay? Not your preacher. Okay?
Not your best friend.
Not your best friend. Not your friends.
You know, Black folks. You know,
not your boss, not your co-workers, not your work husband and your work wife.
Yeah.
Okay?
Find something is really
a licensed therapist.
Something is really interesting too. Sorry to cut you off, John, but it's so interesting because the times are so different for us now than when we were all, I don't know how old you are, Miss Ashley, but I'll be 40 this year. So I'm
right behind you.
And so it's so different though, for us now, because I know growing up and even in college, I think I don't know any of my friends that have not experimented, but the experimentation when we were younger is so different. Yeah. Like, I know, we all tried weed, we all, tried alcohol before we were supposed, but it's like, it's such a different time, and even like going back to like my dad's time, like everything was, I want to say like the drug dealers or whatever, they were more honest, if that sounds right, but it wasn't, it was about getting business, it was like repeat customers and they weren't trying to take, but now it's like these kids these drugs, they don't give a damn about what they get and giving you.
It's very gross. It's very ugly. It's very selfish.
Yeah.
It's all of that. They don't care. They don't all.
Yeah. And that's something these young people need to understand, that they're not worried about you being a repeat customer like it was back in the day.
Right.
They just want to get that quick money and usher you on out the door.
Yeah. And so it's after you get this pill, oh well, it ain't me. Like that's on you.
Yeah. And so it's so important for young people to understand. And also understand too that you can talk to your parents about what you're feeling. Because like I said, we've been there, we've been there. And so it's like you should be able to sit down and talk to your parents. Yeah, if and when I have children, my kid can come to me and say, yeah, your mom did try. I tried this, I tried weed, I did this, I did that. So they, so you don't feel like you're just wagging your finger at them, but but listen to your kids and be open. Like you were saying, y'all had a great relationship and they could feel like they could come and talk to you. But so many parents get so righteous, so self-righteous when they become parents, and they forget, that you were once a child. You did that same stuff that your child is doing, but it was just a different time,
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And, my son knew about my past, our relationship, and not to go too deep, but that's going to be coming out too. I'll be talking about more stuff about, myself, but my kids know what I come from, where I came from. And so they're blinded to any of that. Dad, he had issues as well. They weren't any of that. I will say this: kids go through shit.
Yeah,
kids go through shit.
They do,
and it's not fair to try to tell your child that they're not going through anything, or to be, as you say, so righteous that you can't be like. I mean, you like that, but it won't help. It won't help because I wasn't like that, and it still caught my son. And that was depression. That was dealing with his dad being gone. I mean, All these things were hidden.
Yeah.
And I look back and I wish that I would have made him go to therapy. When I had a grip on him. Because sometimes therapy can change everything.
Yeah.
It really can.
Yeah.
I started yesterday. I started yesterday and I feel better. I feel
good
better.
Good for you.
Just from some things she told me. And she was like, I'm going to just say a little bit. She said, Ashley, you got the tools. You just don't know how to use them.
Yeah.
So that's to help you.
Yeah.
I need, because I know I'm very strong and I've dealt with as much as I could. I've done as much work as I can, but I'm at a place where I know now I need some more help.
Yeah.
Because I want to keep growing. I'm not where I want to be at. And I know the things that have stopped me that I've allowed to, keep me in space. And it's just not, everybody needs therapy.
And good for you, man. And I'm proud, man. I just meeting you today, but I am super proud to see one of us, feel comfortable enough to reach out and be like, yo, I don't have it all together.
Not at all.
And I think we feel like that's a sign of weakness. Is when we have to reach out for help. Asking for help is deemed to be weak, but it's so much strength. And asking me like, yo, I don't have all the answers. I need some help.
That's right. Judgment. You don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
You can't worry about that.
Yeah.
You can't worry about that because people gonna judge you when you're doing good, when you're doing bad.
Yes.
It don't even. But once you get that wrapped around, and that's what I got it wrapped around. Like I don't care. This is for me. This is for my kids. Right. We're not going. And I want people to understand it's okay. Talk. Clear your throat chakra.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yes. You're the only one. I know I'm not the only mom going through this. I might be talking about it.
Yeah. And that's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate that you're the only one that's, willing to talk about it, because it's like you can help. You're helping so many people by sharing your story, helping so many people by sharing your story, man. That's so powerful. Yeah. Keep doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing, sis. I'm telling you, man, God's got his hand all in this. And I like the fact that you said that you're spiritual and not religious, because I've been saying this for so long. Religion is what's killing Black folks. It's killing us. Religion is killing us.
That's a whole nother topic.
Girl, child. Because but that's another reason why we don't go to therapy. We just think that we can pray everything away. Just pray about it.
That's it.
But I think I've always felt like God gives you tools, to do stuff. Like if you're drowning.
That's right.
And you got a boat that comes by to help you. Was that in that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness? I think it's also in the Bible too, but he sends all these guys to come help, and he's like, no, I'm praying God's going. And it's like, God's like, I sent you help. I sent you the tools to help you.
Right.
And you still refuse them, so it's like, girl, like you said, that's a whole nother, don't even get me started on religion.
You ask God for it. You telling God he give you all the ingredients you need, and you sitting there.
Yep. You want God to put it together for you. You don't want to do no work. That's it. We don't want to do no work.
Even when you're uncomfortable, in fear, when you're uncomfortable, in new territory, that's when things happen.
Yeah.
That's when things happen.
Yes. Man. But thank you. I'm gonna have to have you. I have another podcast that I do by myself, and I'm a big mental health advocate. I am preaching because I suffer from depression. And so I am always screaming about mental health to anybody who will listen, especially us. Yeah. Because we don't take it seriously. We're taught to internalize so much. So I'm just, I want to break the mold. And I'm like, and Sean as well, we want to get on here and talk about it. Like, I'm just to a point, I feel like you go through stuff for a reason. You go through stuff so you can share and help somebody. So, man, I take my hat off to you for being on here and doing what you do, man. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
I told you he was going to offer you the other podcast. I told you that.
Good. I'm gonna have you on whatever podcast I can find. I'm gonna find all kinds of podcasts. Y'all need to.
Hey, I'll be there. Just let me know.
Yes. Yeah. You need to get it. Yeah. And especially the mental health aspect too, man. That's so important.
Because
like you said, with the because like you said, like your son was, going through his dad, being, you don't know if he's going through depression, and when you're in that headspace, you'll tend to try stuff and things, that you might not ordinarily try because you just want to get out of, you don't want to feel bad anymore.
That's right. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Man. Yes. Girl, you about to make me go shout. Just
That's all right.
Yeah, but thank you so much, man. We're gonna have to have you back on again, man. This is just the tip of the iceberg, man. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
So before you go, Ashley, before we conclude things, tell us again about AR Branded and Branded Moms, and what exactly are you helping moms with to be successful,
and where we can find you.
Yes.
So Branded Moms, I created that line. It's an inspirational line. It really is very personal to me. It was something that I created in my time. I needed something. So really, it's really about me. I was going through so much, but still you got to push through. Like, I'm not going to let it hinder me. So it's really for moms that think outside the box, moms who are fighting through trauma, through depression, through adversity, raising kids by yourself, single moms, like all of that, all of the stuff that they put a dark cloud over. Well, I'm it.
Right.
I'm it. You can look at me, but
stop.
I'm not going to let that stop me. That doesn't mean that you can't grow. That doesn't mean that you can't be successful and that you can't have a healthy mind. So I'm doing the work so that I can be the woman that can continue to help other women who want to do the work. You can find me on Instagram at Branded Moms, at Branded Moms. See there. I just post a lot of uplifting things, pictures. I'm gonna be I'm actually rebranding some things. So there'll be more merch on the site. You can find the link at Branded Moms on Instagram. So there's a link there. Grab. Here's one of the shirts.
I'm about to say, is that, can we get that fly sweatshirt right there?
Yes, this is the signature sweatshirt. Moms Out Loud.
I gotta get me one of those.
Yes, I'll get you one. Give me your address and I'll get it.
Yeah, I want to pay for mine. I want to pay for it though. Yeah, I gotta pay for it.
Well, that's cool.
Yes.
Sweater, hoodies, t-shirts. I'm actually looking into bringing out some 2-piece outfits that will have Moms Out Loud manifest success. It's a movement. That's what I want it to be. And I'm very excited about it. I'm ready to just show show other mothers that you don't have to be ashamed of anything. You know what I'm saying? And everybody may not be for you. That's okay. Your tribe will find you.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Yes.
So that's me.
Man, I don't even know how we follow that up to close the show, but okay.
But we follow that up by just saying thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Has all of our expectations. I knew it was going to be great, but it was even better than that.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate you for coming by for calling me. Me and first telling you, first telling me your story. You absolutely touched my heart.
Thank you.
And I just really appreciate you sharing that with us and our fans. This was a very, very important and needed episode. So from Chicken and Rice, Sujuane and myself, we just want to tell you, Miss Ashley Ross, just thank you. And we also want to issue a thank you and a shout out to EJ.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would let him know. I would definitely.
Yeah.
EJ, tell him to keep on keeping on.
Bro.
Keep on keeping on. You got this. Keep that strong mindset. Keep that strong mindset. You can't go wrong with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
No problem. Yes. No problem, man. We just thank you again, EJ. Again, we love you. And you are loved. Okay. Yes. And your name will always be on our hearts and our lips.
Yes.
All right. that is awesome. I've been closing the show the show the last couple of episodes, man. It's your turn.
But just like Sean said, thank you again. We are so thankful to you and with you sharing your story. We are so proud of you, you know, for being brave enough to share your story and taking the necessary steps to get yourself on track and get yourself in the headspace that you need to be in. We're very proud of EJ for taking the steps that he needed to take to get his life back on track. And we hope that he'll go off and share his story as well, you know, and help others in the future too. Because y'all definitely have a testimony, man.
Yes.
Y'all have a testimony.
Hell,
he's here for a reason. He's here for a reason.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So thank you again so much. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.